let's go over some of the news that happened this week. It's not great. I will preface that. It is not great. So this was reported 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago. Actually, it's been updated by Tom Warren at The Verge. Microsoft confirmed it's laying off as many as 9,100 employees, or about 4% of its workforce in yet another round of cuts this year. Employees in Microsoft Xbox division, known as Microsoft Gaming, are being hit hard by these layoffs, although exact numbers and divisions are not yet known. Xbox leader Phil Spencer said in a message to the team, to position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. Bloomberg reports that now Microsoft-owned King division that made Candy Crush is cutting about 10% of employees, or 200 people, while other units like ZeniMax have also confirmed they're cutting jobs. Microsoft is also laying off more than 70 people at its Forza Motorsports studio, Turn 10, as well as canceling its Perfect Dark and Everwild games. The studio behind Perfect Dark, the initiative, is also closing down as part of these layoffs. These major layoffs come less than 2 months after Microsoft announced it was cutting more than 6,000 employees, followed by an additional 305 reductions in early June. Microsoft employees have faced a series of layoffs over the past year, including a round of performance-based cuts that have seriously hit morale, according to multiple Microsoft employees Tom spoke to. Microsoft laid off 1,900 Activision Blizzard and Xbox employees in January 2024, followed by several game studio closures and job losses in May, and 1,000 job losses from its HoloLens and Azure cloud teams in June. Microsoft also laid off 650 more Xbox employees in September as part of a restructuring related to the company's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Ooh, we actually get the memo that Phil Spencer sent out. Okay, so this is the memo that Xbox boss Phil Spencer sent out to employees. Today, we are sharing decisions that will impact colleagues across our organization. To position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end or decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead on removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness. Out of respect for those impacted today, the specifics of today's notifications and any organizational shifts will be shared by your team leaders in the coming days. I recognize these changes come at a time when we have more players, games, and gaming hours than ever. Our platform, hardware, and game roadmap have never looked stronger. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we've made previously. We must make choices now for continued success in future years, and a key part of that strategy is the discipline to prioritize the strongest opportunities. We will protect what is thriving and concentrate effort on areas with the greatest potential while delivering on the expectations the company has for our business. This focused approach means we can deliver exceptional games and experiences for players for generations to come. Prioritizing our opportunities is essential, but that does not lessen the importance of the significance of this moment. Simply put, we would not be where we are today without the time, energy, and creativity of those whose roles are impacted. These decisions are not a reflection of the talent, creativity, and dedication of the people involved. Our momentum is not accidental. It is the result of years of dedicated effort from our teams. HR is working directly with impacted employees to provide severance plan benefits aligned with local laws, including pay, healthcare coverage, and job placement resources to support their transition. Employees whose roles were eliminated are encouraged to explore open positions across Microsoft Gaming, where their applications will be given priority review. Thank you to everyone who has shaped our culture, our products, and our community. We will move forward with deep appreciation and respect for all of those who have contributed to this journey. Man, I think a lot of people have probably heard, 4% of Microsoft's workforce, right? That's still 9,000 employees. 9,000 employees being 4% means that this company is huge. So as much as I hate to say it, Microsoft does not care. Microsoft does not care. Here's the thing. I totally thought that Perfect Dark was going to be heavily delayed or, going to be indefinitely delayed for a while. And it seems like it's been canceled as well. Laying off more than 70 people at Turn 10 is kind of wild to me because Forza is such a big part of of Xbox games specifically. I'm not surprised though, because we have seen from developers, even if you are successful, as Microsoft, as Phil Spencer said here, how he said that they are in one of the best times, their platform, hardware, and game roadmap have never looked stronger, that they have more games and players and gaming hours than ever before, but yet it still results in a 4% workplace cut of people. It does not matter if you're successful. A lot of these corporations will not give a shit. They won't, because ultimately it's still about making money. And on top of it, I'm sad that I didn't get to cover this earlier, but I'm also kind of glad I waited, because today, guess what? An Xbox producer is recommending to laid off workers to use AI to try to get a job. So, okay, this report comes from Luke Plunkett on Aftermath. And let's go ahead and read this together, huh? So, Matt Turnbull, executive producer at Xbox Game Studios Publishing, has said that he looked at everything that happened this week, particularly the bit where Xbox laid off a bunch of people at the same time Microsoft pledged to invest $80 billion in AI. And decided that and Matt decided that he needs to give advice to those laid off, but also this advice should be AI prompts. Okay. So here's his post. I believe this is on LinkedIn. Yes, this is on LinkedIn. So this is on LinkedIn. Matt Turnbull says, "These are really challenging times. If you're navigating a layoff or even quietly preparing for one, you're not alone and you don't have to go it alone. I know these types of tools engender strong feelings in people, but I'd be remiss in not trying to offer the best advice I can under the circumstances. I've been experimenting with ways to use LLM AI tools like ChatGPT or Copilot to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. Here are some prompt ideas and use cases that might help if you're feeling overwhelmed. Career planning prompts. Quote, act as a career coach. I've been laid off from a role in the game industry. Help me build a 30-day plan to regroup, research new rules, and start applying without burning out. What kind of game industry jobs could I pivot to with experience in production, narrative, live ops, etc., whatever else, end quote. Now with resume and LinkedIn help. Quote, here is my current resume. Give me 3 tailored versions, one for AAA, one for platform/publishing roles, and one for startups/small studio leadership. Or rewrite this resume bullet to highlight impact and metrics, or draft a new LinkedIn About Me section that focuses on my leadership style, shipped titles, and vision for game development. For networking and research, quote, draft a friendly message I can send to old coworkers, letting them know I'm exploring new opportunities, or write a warm intro message for reaching out to someone at studio name about a job posting. Then for emotional clarity and confidence, quote, I'm struggling with imposter syndrome after being laid off. Can you help me reframe this experience in a way that reminds me what I'm good at? End quote. No AI tool is a replacement for your voice or your lived experience, but at a time when mental energy is scarce, these tools can help you get unstuck faster, calmer, and with more clarity. If this helps, feel free to share with others in your network. Stay kind, stay smart, stay connected. Since then, the LinkedIn post has been deleted, probably for various reasons. But this is just incredibly, incredibly rude and insensitive, especially when they're saying, hey, we know that this is a really hard time for you, but here's some tools to use. Here's one specific tool for you to use. Specifically a tool that we are replacing you with, that we're choosing to invest in rather than the people. Here you go. Oh, but also, no AI tool is replacement for your voice or your lived experience. But also their actions kind of show otherwise, don't they? Interesting. I know that, here's the thing. A lot of people will be like, oh, well, Xbox is just an arm of Microsoft, right? Microsoft is this huge company. Yes, but also don't you think that Xbox, as being under Microsoft, don't you think that they will also have to adjust certain things to meet with what their company wants? Yeah. They have been active. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I will say that a lot of companies will use AI as an SEO term, right? They'll just say, oh, AI powered this, AI powered that. Dude, I saw this ad the other day that was about lashes, like fake lashes. And they said, this is the AI of lashes. People like to use AI as a flash term without knowing what the fuck they're talking about, right? Clearly here, this guy knows what he's talking about. So so obviously, a lot of companies, when they talk about AI, they do mean it as a tool. AI as a tool can be very valid, right? A lot of the example that I often give people is, oh, look at Photoshop when you do generative erase or like the expansion tool. When I've had to make thumbnails and I needed just a little bit more space, I've used that, right? That is one of the examples that I use as, yes, AI can be used as a tool, not as a full job replacement, which it seems that Microsoft seems to be leaning into this direction, which we've known that they've been doing this, especially with the amount of Copilot that they've been pushing. They've been pushing their more like AI server. I mean, they tried to do stuff with oh my God, do you guys remember Cortana on PC? Yeah. So Microsoft has been already going in that direction, right? But now there was a big push for this AI refocus. So looking at this, BBC actually reported on this. Microsoft has refocused its business towards developing AI, including investing in data centers and chips. Last year, the company hired British AI pioneer Mustafa Suleyman to lead its new Microsoft AI division. A top Microsoft executive recently told the BBC that the next half century will fundamentally be defined by artificial intelligence, changing the way we work and interact with one another. Microsoft is also a major investor and shareholder in OpenAI, the company behind the popular chatbot ChatGPT, although the relationship has reportedly grown tense in recent months. Bloomberg also reported that Microsoft has struggled to sell its AI assistant, known as Copilot, to business customers because many office workers prefer ChatGPT. The layoffs among rank and file workers at Microsoft come as major U.S. tech companies court top AI talent. AI talent is so fucking funny to say. That is such a funny fucking term, dude. Meta has also been poaching. God, the way they sentence this. Meta has been poaching talent from rivals to form a super intelligence lab. Mark Zuckerberg has reportedly been personally involved in the recruitment. OpenAI boss Sam Altman said recently that members of his team had been getting offers of more than $100 million as signing bonuses from Meta. Last month, Amazon boss Andy Jassy said he expected AI would replace some of his firm's workers. Hold on, I'm trying to look at Microsoft has set out plans to invest heavily in artificial intelligence and is spending $80 billion in huge data centers to train AI models. A spokesman from Microsoft told BBC, we continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. You know, I love how they talk about replacing workers, and they talk about, we need to reposition so that we can be the most successful, even though Phil Spencer released that memo and they're clearly in the most successful position they've been in the last few years, right? They literally talk about being successful. It will never matter. It will never matter. If they could fire AI, they probably will, if it means cutting costs. They just want to cut costs and they want to make more of a profit. More. It's all about money. It's all about money, dude. And it's so frustrating. I have tried to divide my vision of Xbox and Microsoft for a while now, and it sucks because Microsoft also, hold on, let me double check that my information is correct. Oh fuck, what is it called? Thanks, Mizu. I literally didn't style it. This is just my hair. I just took a shower yesterday and didn't know what to do with it, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, hold on, real quick. So, yeah, Microsoft also had a past involvement with Israeli facial recognition, a company that worked with that, called AnyVision. They did pull out. Let me double check. They said they're pulling out their investments from it. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are these articles? There's so many I miss sites. I miss sites before ads. Holy shit, the amount of pop-ups. Oh my god, dude. Sorry. Yeah. So let's see. Microsoft said in 2020 that they were pulling investments from facial recognition startup that scans faces at Israeli military checkpoints. Yeah, so they decided to pull support from that. But if I remember correctly, I think they still had something. Let me double check. Oh, is it Azure? Oh, shit. Hold on. I thought there was something about... They did aid in that. So that was already kind of a thing that I was like, okay, that's Microsoft. It's not Xbox specifically, but still falls under the same wing, obviously, which is not great. So, damn, dude, we kind of knew that they were going to be going into an AI-focused shift anyways, but this just makes it even more real. And you can definitely guarantee that this stuff is going to come to Xbox, right? Like, this is why would you build an AI tool that could be your assistant that could make you lots of money and be more interactive for all your users and not extend that to the Xbox platform? They're going to bring it to Xbox, and there's going to be a way that they are going to replace certain things with AI on Xbox as well. Maybe not as extensively as on your PC, right? But there is going to be something. I can't speak to a lot of the specifics of what they could be doing, but you already know that they are testing it. So this is really unfortunate. They cut so many employees in the past year, and now 9,100 extra employees have been cut just to make way for more AI talent. I'm using quotes, by the way, if you're watching this, or if you're listening to this. Making room for more talent is wild. Also, yeah, I forget who it was. Someone said, talent can't be deleted. Yeah, talent can't just be deleted or uninstalled, right? Yeah. They had that post about doing it back compatibility and just reopen that team. There's going to be... The next Xbox is just an AI that plays games for you. Gaming is about to get real weird with all the different implementations of AI that these companies are going to be forcing, just because, again, like I said, dude, AI is now the new like gluten-free flash term, right? Do you guys remember when gluten-free shit started popping off? They started labeling everything as gluten-free. Coconut water, sparkling water, everything was gluten-free. Because it is technically gluten-free, but the more you label it, the more it's appealing, right? It fucking works in people's brains. Same with AI. You know that when you say, oh, AI, like this is the AI of whatever, or this is powered by AI, people are going to be a little bit more interested in it because they're like, oh, what's this new shiny thing? A lot of companies use that, but I mean, we have solid evidence that Microsoft is going to be putting that into Xbox now, and probably has been already, and we haven't noticed. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that AI has already crept into so much of our everyday lives, which is why I don't think that AI is going to go away. I don't think we should be trying to fight to have it fully taken away, because that's never going to fucking happen. What we need to do is fight for regulations. Fight for active regulations. But that's something that is probably going to take a really long time for them to figure out. Especially since Microsoft is going so heavily into this. Microsoft and Meta, which, I mean, we knew Mark Zuckerberg was heavily in that. I mean, he is fucking AI himself. Have you seen him? That dude's a fucking robot. Like, let's Let's be real. That's not surprising. But the fact that Microsoft is now getting into it and probably going to pull in Xbox, what do you think? What do you think PlayStation's going to do? They're going to be like, well, shit, that's the next thing we should be doing too. Fuck, we should be following suit. That could also do things. And here's the thing, AI in gaming could be helpful, right? Maybe it could help with accessibility features for those who need that. But I can't think of a lot of better uses that require AI in games right now or anything like that. As a tool, again, as a fucking tool, yes. But that is not the way. The way that these companies want you to use AI is so vastly different from what they actively should be using it for, which is really interesting. Like the producer was like, oh, you should use this basically as your therapist. No, it's awful. First of all, have you guys seen that ChatGPT is known to be sycophantic and it will actively fluff up your ego because it wants you to use them more, which is why so many of these people end up quote unquote falling in love with their ChatGPT created girlfriend or partner or whatever, because they are constantly sucking their dick, for lack of a better term. It should never like the guy said, who he clearly doesn't even follow his own advice. This should not replace the actual value that humans can give you, whether it's therapy or whether it's them teaching you to learn new things actively, right? It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. My heart goes out to these employees who are affected. It's real hard in the space right now to get a job, or honestly in any industry right now too. Entertainment industry is also suffering. Food and hospitality also suffering. A lot of this shit, nothing is good right now. No one is hiring. It's really hard to even get a base retail job. It is very difficult. So it really sucks that this comes at a time when Microsoft is clearly having highs of highs with Xbox, but it's still not good enough. And I think that's the thing. Nothing will ever be good enough for a corporation to keep you on board. It's incredibly frustrating. Sorry, I've been yapping. This is what happens when you get me to catch up on news that frustrates me and irritates me. I'm going to take a break and drink my little electrolyte drink. Is this the worst timeline or the second worst timeline? Ooh, we are definitely in the worst timeline. I think we're in the worst timeline. The fact that we are actively in the worst timeline, we're like, before, the worst timeline was, oh, what if Hitler had won? The fact that we're like living it right now, dude. The fact that we're fucking living it. Anyways, yeah. Oh, on top of this news, also, I did see this and it made me very sad 2 days ago as well. So Greg Mayles, director of Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves, he leaves Rare. So he had been with Rare for over 35 years. Reported by the VGC, Mayles' departure comes as Xbox has canceled Rare's in-development action-adventure game Everwild and let go of an unknown number of staff. Mayles had been with the company since the late 1980s and served as director on games such as Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong Country. He was also the creative director on Sea of Thieves. In addition to Mayles, VGC reports that executive producer Louise O'Connor is also leaving the studio. So this is among all of that. Right. Yeah. The initiative was shut down, which we talked about earlier. Also canceled was an MMORPG from ZeniMax Online Studios. And their president, Michael Feurer, also announced his departure. Romero Games also shut down. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, Romero Games' new shooter lost funding and the studio might be closing, and people are blaming Microsoft. So this was yesterday, reported on yesterday. Romero Games, the studio founded in 2015 by industry legends Brenda and John Romero, announced today that funding for its latest project has been cut off and it's being forced to lay off employees. Brenda Romero wrote, "Last night we learned that our publisher has canceled funding for our game along with several other unannounced projects at other studios. This was a strategic decision we made at a high level within the publisher as well as our visibility or control. Oh, well above well above our visibility or control. We deeply wish there had been anything we could have done to prevent this outcome. This absolutely isn't a reflection of our team's work, performance, or the quality of the project itself. We hit every milestone on time, every time, consistently receiving high praise, and easily passed all our internal gates. We are incredibly proud of the work being done and of the talented team behind it. Yeah, they didn't state specifically that layoffs are happening, but it does seem that they are talking about. So yeah, they posted, and on this, in their statement, they said, "We're heartbroken that it's come to this. If you know of any opportunities or ways you can help our incredible team, please reach out." So the official statement, let's go ahead and read this together. We have some difficult news to share. Oh yes, we read that part. Okay. We're currently evaluating next steps and working quickly to support our team. Many of us have worked together for more than a decade, some for over 20 years. It's an extremely difficult day, and we're heartbroken that it's come to this. If you know of any opportunities or ways you can help our incredible team, please reach out. Thank you to everyone who's offered support and kindness and encouragement during this difficult time. Brenda Romero from Romero Games. So it's interesting because they didn't actually specify which publisher canceled their funding, but it does seem like a lot of people are linking it to Xbox or to Microsoft because they were talking about pulling funding, right? So they did say, where was it? Yeah. Okay. Publisher has canceled funding for our game along with several unannounced projects at other studios. So it's not an awful guess to suspect Xbox. They never talked about who their publisher was. They were just working with a major publisher on their all new FPS. Yeah, and this was announced back in 2022. This really sucks. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at, yeah. So John Romero was talking about making a new FPS with Romero Games. Hopefully they're able to find a new publisher. I'm not entirely sure how that process will work, but it seems if they do have the work already, if they already have a pretty good base done and they were able to hit certain margins, they might be able to get a producer or a publisher and be able to make up for that time and potentially bring something to life with this. But it depends on their contract, depends on all the other things, if they're able to keep more of their developers on with them, but who knows. So if you haven't, actually, you should read Doom Guy. It's Romero's book on how he created the code and how Doom came to be. It's really good. I really loved it. He's truly a genius in the gaming space, and he definitely helped push the FPS space to where it is now, which is very interesting. But yeah, this sucks. You could be the fucking creator of Doom, co-creator of Doom, and guess what? It's still not good enough. Your work is still not good enough. Even if it seems like the next great thing, it's still not fucking good enough, y'all. This is why I feel like there has been this recent push for independent games. Not only independent games, independent journalism, independent publishing, independent everything, development, right? There has been a lot more of this push for independence because, yes, you make less money, but also you're not bound to what a company will tell you to do. You're not bound by these stupid rules or a contract. You are able to do what you want on your own terms. Yes, your vision may have to be scaled back due to monetary funding issues, but you can still create what you want. It's just, again, like I said, our industry is in a really weird space right now, and getting that funding, whether it's crowdfunded or anything, it's still really difficult. So game space we're in such a weird time, and it sucks because this is such a great way for people to express their art, developers to express their art, and to get their passions across. But all of that keeps getting snuffed out and pushed further and further down. And dude, if major companies like Xbox and Microsoft are doing this, just imagine what smaller companies are going to end up doing, right? Who have less funding. Microsoft is fine. They will be fine. They make money, but they want more. It's greedy. It's greedy. It is truly the darkest timeline right now for games. And I know it's gaming is a hobby and it's an expensive hobby, but still, it is still people's careers that they're fucking with right now. It sucks. I genuinely hope they're able to find work quickly. I mean, obviously these developers and the people that were laid off have been very talented in order to keep things going the way they have at Xbox, but it's gonna be tough. It's tough. A lot of places are on a hiring freeze or they just want to do freelance. They don't want to actively throw down money for full-time employees. Yeah, it's really tough. Yeah, hopefully these developers are able to find some peace and security soon. It's rough, man. It's really rough. Games used to be an outlet of joy and sharing passions, and now it seems to be an industry where everyone mostly just commiserates together about getting fired or let go. It sucks. But hopefully the next time we cover news, it's a little bit more positive. Maybe it'll be about them creating their own independent studio. That'd be great. Maybe they join Romero Games. That could be really cool. Who knows? What a great 4th of July